ازيكم يا شباب عاملين ايه؟ اتمنى يا رب تكونوا بخير يا رب يا رب يا رب تكونوا بخير. منورين. يوسف منور، معاذ منورين بجد. شكرا لتواجدكم. هقول ايه؟ لسه طبعا ما فيش اي حاجه بدأت، بس في حاجه تضايق. يعني هو ما فيش حاجه بدأت بس في حاجات تضايق. هقول لكم عليها دلوقتي. انا هقول لكم ايه اللي يضايق. باقي 42 دقيقة مكتوب اهي. 42 دقيقة يا يوسف. باقي من الزمن 42 دقيقة. أنا كاتم الصوت بالمناسبة نشغله.
Much more. Then at noon Pacific time, it's the main event. Ubisoft Forward with Watch Dogs Legion,
هقول لكم ايه
Assassin's
بقى.
Creed Valhalla.
يعني أولا موضوع نسخة واتش دوجز 2 مجانا. الموقع مش عايز يعمل ساين ان عشان المفروض يحسب لي ان انا اتفرجت على العرض، مش عارف ليه. دي أول حاجة، نقطة ان انت تعمل ساين ان على الموقع عشان تاخد وش دوجز 2 مجانا. دي حاجة. تاني حاجة الكودز اللي بيعرضوها، مش عارف اذا كان في ناس سريعة قوي ان هي تاخد الالعاب دي، Assassin's Creed Odyssey و Far Cry New Dawn و The Revision 2، ولا الكودز دي اصلا منتهية. عشان جربت اكتر من واحد مش ما جابش معايا اي حاجة. فمش عارف، حاسس ان الموضوع فيه حاجة غلط. حاسس ان هم بيضحكوا على الناس، مش عارف ليه.
Alright, who's your money on here at the outset?
I'll just take the easy.
خلينا قاعدين مع بعض اهو.
There he is. He's there, top of the pops right there.
Yeah.
And keen-eyed viewers will note this is the track we just saw being created.
يعني ما توقعش ان انا هقعد 40 دقيقة.
I think in that round is the one who made it.
هم بيلعبوا تراك ميني يعني.
I believe in you.
Probably can win at least one round.
I believe it. I believe it. So as we watch them compete, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about, you know, how people kind of like take on new competitive challenges in Trackmania. Because, you know, right from the get-go, you start playing, there's the inherent competition of racing. You're trying to get a better medal, a faster time, and you're racing against your friends.
قبل سنة عملت تسجيل دخول فين قبل سنة؟
Basically what we try to do is to design features that will be
انت تقصد يعني انا عامل تسجيل دخول، والله مش عايز يعمل تسجيل دخول عندي عشان حتى مكتوب ان هو بعد دقيقة هاخد وش دوجز 2، مش عايز يعمل تسجيل دخول. مش فاهم ليه، ولا على الموقع العربي ولا على الموقع الاجنبي. اعمل ساين ان كونتينيو ما بيدخلش في البث بتاعه. عادي كده كده واتش دوجز 2 عندي على البي اس، بس يعني كنت عايزها على البي سي كمان، بس من اصلا مش هشتريها مرتين، فهم حاطينها مجانا، فالمفروض يعني يكون كويسين.
That's good. Like that's a feature we love at the studio because you can compare yourself against.
وموضوع الكودز ده مضايقني قوي على فكرة.
And maybe beat him and be happy with that.
يعني هو انتوا بتشحتونا العاب ولا ايه اللي كودز واللي يلحق اللي يلحق لعبة ياخدها؟ الحاجات المجانية دي ماشي، لازم تشوف دقيقة من العرض عشان تاخد وش دوجز مجانا، مكتوبة كده دقيقة من العرض عشان تاخد وش دوجز. يعني بجد مش يعني انا حاسس ان هم يعني ده اسلوب قذر قوي. انتوا مش بتشحتونا الحاجه يعني. انتوا لو بتشحتونا الحاجه مش هتعملونا كده. حلو قوي كود بقى وانتوا مع نفسكم. لا بصراحه اسلوب قذر قوي. يعني انا هوريكم المكافآت اللي هم حاطينها.
You've done your solo competition. You want to like maybe compete with players on a broader scale. Seek out folks who race around the same time as you. Like, what are some good ways to do that?
اهي المكافآت. شاهد لمدة دقيقة هتاخد وش 2 مجانا بي سي. انا لحد دلوقتي مش عارف اعمل ساين ان على الموقع اصلا. شاهد لمدة 20 دقيقة هتاخد معطف يوبيسوفت فورورد بتاع الحدث. لمدة 30 دقيقة هتاخد الفيجن 2 حزمة مفاتيح الصناديق الأزياء. شاهد 40 دقيقة اساسن كريد فالهالا ضوء القمر هتاخد حاجة اساسن كريد فالهالا. تمام. فيعني هو ده هنا لازم تتفرج عليها هنا على الموقع ده عشان يحسب لك.
Because you'll be playing on the same maps and the same format as the Grand League, so you'll be basically living the experience of a professional player by playing the Grand League, and maybe if you get good, maybe at some point you'll be joining the Grand League and
خلص انا جودة النت على الحدث المعفن. لما يبدأ الحدث الرئيسي نبقى نخلص عليه النت. والكودز دي على فكرة والله حاسس ان هي مش حقيقية، عشان اكيد انا مش هجرب يعني اكتر من كود كلهم خلصانين. ايه الناس طلقة في ناس ما بتسيبش لعبة ما شاء الله عليهم.
So it's really great to see and we're excited for the next season which will start on September.
هو الناس طلقة يعني الناس هتموت. بس الاسلوب قذر بجد، اسلوب ان احنا يلا كود بقى يلا قول لي الحق، مش حلو الاسلوب ده.
I just booted up Trackmania. I've raced a little bit. Is that going to be easy for players to find? What's the way to get into that?
يعني عايزين تدوها لناس كتير، وزعوها على ناس كتير. الناس اللي بتتفرج زي ما هتدوهم مونشوكس ادوهم دي.
It will be also easy for the people to create events through the clubs. Well, you'll basically be able to create an event in less than 2 minutes and decide which map you want to have.
أنا بقصد يوبلاي
So we made everything easier for
هنا بيقول لك ايه، بيقول لك يو بلاي كود فور ترايلز ريسنج. تدخل الكود ده على يو بلاي كل شويه بيتغير، اهو كود جديد اهو ظهر، تدخله على يو بلاي على الكمبيوتر تاخد اللعبه دي. بس تلحق انت تاخده قبل ما حد تاني ياخده، يعني تلحق انت تكتبه قبل ما حد تاني يكتبه. يعني عايز تاخدها بص، يعني انت والكيبورد لازم تبقوا اصحاب، تكتب من غير ما تبص، تفضل باصص هنا على طول. فلا يعني موضوع قذر بصراحه.
Or you can just have a public club which is available and joinable by everyone and just have fun with a lot of people doing a lot of events and organizing a lot of content.
And maybe just a club that focuses on huge jumps.
يعني هم مفكرين ان المنظر ده كده هو اللي هيخلينا قاعدين مستمتعين مثلا. يعني احنا هنبقى قاعدين مستمتعين وهم شايفينهم بيلعبوا.
Quite fun also.
This is a pretty close match.
Actually we
the top
have
leader only has a few
مش مصدقهم.
So I like it. Thanks for recruiting these folks into the action here to give us a look at some real speedy, real tight turns.
Yeah, you can see how good they are by their drifts and how well they know the maps, obviously, since they've been playing the alpha for I think a bit more than two or 3 months now. So they're getting used to the game and they're playing really good compared to what we do.
I wish I had watched them play before our session earlier, but for the future,
you can play against their ghost if you want to learn the map, actually.
That's true. Although, can you really learn from a ghost if it just screams out ahead of you so fast you can't even see it? I'll work my way up. Yeah, so events, this kind of this stuff that is organized through clubs as like. So it's organized through clubs, which is kind of organic, and players all around the world can make that happen. But you at Nadeo are also sort of curating stuff and experiences and events for players to get into.
Yeah, what we try to do is to have a mix of community event, where we have players organizing event. That's something that is there for more than 14 years now on Trackmania, so we love to see that. We love to see community creating content on our game. We also organize ourselves, our events through the Grand League, the Daily Cups, the Nations League, and things like that. So it's kind of a mix of trying to get content for every kind of players, and also a way to be able to create content and events, whether you're
أنا هنقعد نص ساعة في القرف ده.
Nice. Wow. The time separating the top finishes.
That's really great, and that's really fast.
Is very, very tight here as we move on to, I believe, our fourth and final map of this competitive section.
And it's still really close.
All right, folks, it's down to the wire. Omar, still believing in your racer Shorty out there?
Yeah, I think he's first. So
I mean,
احنا نقعد ساعة معاهم صح؟
yeah.
نص ساعة
That's a
معاهم
great
دول
map. Everything can
لحد
happen.
ما العرض ما يبدأ.
Might be someone overtaking Shorty.
Do you like that kind of map where, I mean, it's exciting, right? Because like dramatic stuff can happen, but also it's a little scary. Like you can just fly off the track and like, well,
lose everything.
It's all gone.
You can go from first to last basically by
أنا بصراحة كنت بحترم يوبي سوفت والله، بس بعد حركة النهاردة دي مش محترمهم خالص بجد. الحركة قذرة بمعنى كلمة قذرة.
Yeah, that's how you handle pressure on Trackmania.
Yeah, you know, at some point, like, fun becomes like, oh, it's the thrill, you know. You're
حركة الكودز اللي كانت هنا دي كانت قذرة قوي.
What do you call this kind of road surface here that's like a hill in the middle? I was trying to figure this out earlier.
Actually, we do have a name, but I don't like to use it. I just let people call it as they want. I'm calling it a different way in French, obviously.
Oh, sure, of course, yeah.
Basically, everyone can name the road as they want.
وموضوع تسجيل الدخول حتى على البتاع مش عايز يسجل دخول دي حركة أقذر.
The language of racing. It takes many forms.
خلينا احنا قاعدين بقى مع بعض. يلا انا هركز معاك. اللي عنده اي حاجة عايز يكتبها نقعد ندردش كده مع بعض بدل ما احنا شايفين اللي احنا شايفينه ده.
Into the competition against other folks. I want to challenge myself right out of the gate. What's the best way to get that started?
To be quite honest, the best thing will be to play the daily cap because you'll be facing players from all around the world on a
أنا عندي فكرة والله.
only each day. So the track of the day map. So you'll be able to see how good you are against.
منوع يا رحيم والله منوع.
You can maybe see your progression on the whole week. And maybe at the end of the week you'll be able.
لا على فكرة هفهمك حاجة يا رحيم. أنا كنت مسجل دخول في البداية، مرة واحدة لقيتهم خرجوني، قاعد عمال أجي أسجل دخول تاني مش عايز أسجل دخول. أنت عندك بيسجل دخول؟ سجلت دخول على الموقع اللي بيديك وش جزء مجانا؟ أنا كان متسجل دخولي. أنا كنت مسجل دخول قبل العرض ما يبدأ أصلا. بدخل بعد كده مرة واحدة كده لقيته راح خرج قدامي. خرج مرة واحدة. فجاي برضه بسجل دخول دلوقتي مش عايز اسجل دخول. ده اللي انا اقصده. ده اولا. ثانيا حركة الاكواد اللي هنا اللي جت في البث، معرفش انت شفت البث ده ولا لا، هو بدأ بقاله ساعة من البداية ولا لا. حركة الاكواد اللي هنا واللي يلحق ياخد الكود. تمام. انا كتبت الكود اول ما ظهر عشان كنت عايز اخد لسانس كريد اوديسي بصراحة. اكتر من مرة اكتر من كود مختلف كاتبين لي ان الكود مفعل بالفعل. مش عارف بقى حد لحق يفعله ولا هم في ايه بالظبط، بس هي الحركة عموما ما عجبتنيش.
Well, obviously, thank you for having me, and thanks to the players for playing this competition. Thanks to all the closed alpha.
انت سجل معاك عادي، طب ليه مش عايز اسجل معايا؟ مش عارف.
Make this game better, and we're pretty happy with the Trackmania we have right now. So yeah, just play Trackmania. It's free, and have fun on it. I'm pretty sure you'll have, and yeah, that's it.
All right, Omar, thank you so much. Trackmania, folks, it's out now on.
وحركة الكود فعلا مش عجباني خالص بجد والله. حركة الكود دي مش حركة كويسة.
Time with Trackmania is coming to a close, and it's on to the next show. Ubisoft Forward pre-show is starting momentarily. We're going to take a look at Ghost Recon Breakpoint, The Crew 2, Trials Rising, new stuff coming from all these games. You're not going to want to miss it. And then when the countdown timer hits 0, it's Ubisoft Forward.
لسه هنقعد كل ده في البري-شو.
The latest and greatest upcoming games from Ubisoft, followed by an in-depth look at Assassin's Creed.
بجد لا يعني عيب. أنا بالنسبة لي شايفها حركة مش لطيفة بصراحة.
Thank you, Chris, and hello everyone. Welcome to the Ubisoft Forward pre-show. The main event will be starting in just 30 minutes, and will feature news from our unreleased games, including Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Hyperscape, and more.
Now to warm up, we have 30 minutes of this from the games you're already playing, like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Trials Rising, and The Crew 2. as well as some exclusive behind the scenes so you can get to know us a little better. So let's kickstart this pre-show with an update from Just Dance 2020.
نعلي لكم الصوت شوية.
If you're a Just Dance fan and want to win some cool swag, head over to the Just Dance website for all the details. For our next segment, we have something a little different than what we usually do. A few years ago, Ubisoft created the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Lab and the Open Innovation Accelerator. This allowed us to create partnerships and synergies with indie studios from across the industry.
And since so many industry events were canceled this year, we wanted to showcase several indie projects and teams that Ubisoft has been collaborating with over the past few years.
Our first indie showcase is developer Machine Mensch, who is working on the Curious Expedition 2. Let's hear more from the team behind the game.
Hi, my name is Masha and I'm a game designer at Machine Mensch. Machine Mensch is a small and diverse indie game studio with 8 wonderful employees based here in Berlin. Our connection with Ubisoft came through a program dedicated to create ever-growing relationships with independent developers, to talk about and share expertise and knowledge. We work together in mutual respect, which we much appreciated.
We're working on the Curious Expedition 2, which is the sequel to our expedition simulation game. This time, the game is set in Paris in 1899 during the World Expo when the Eiffel Tower was built. But more importantly, you will be traveling to these mysterious islands, you will be interacting with unknown tribes, fight dangerous beasts, find many secrets. Thanks to our procedure technology, every time you play, it's a new world, new characters, and a new storyline that you shape with each of your interactions until it becomes really your own unique adventure.
And we will have more indie guests coming up later in the pre-show, so stick around. Now, a while ago, Ubisoft released its very first live-action TV show on Apple TV+, and it's a comedy about making video games called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. And to keep the show authentic, Ubisoft's Red Storm studio went above and beyond by creating a playable sandbox for the game that is actually featured in the show. So now let's head behind the scenes for an exclusive look.
This is the home of Clancy.
Okay. It's very Clancy-esque.
Yes.
I get it. All right, now I'm starting to understand.
Right.
I too keep all my awards at the front of my office. It's entirely empty.
So Mythic Quest is Ubisoft's first live-action comedy. The whole show is about a team that is developing a super successful MMORPG, and it's about all the people within the game development team and their relationships and what they go through in creating one of the world's most successful games.
All right, incredible.
Thank you.
But are we sure that we're finished?
When we heard about what was going on, we weren't really sure if we were a great fit because we've always made shooters realistic. And we listened to the pitch and we were super excited about the idea. So we thought, all right, what does Ubisoft have that we could channel to fit this?
You're fucking me.
Yes.
You're fucking me.
But I'm not enjoying it. It's for the game.
When we started on the project, I think we imagined we would just make video clips that would run on screens in the background or something, so it would feel like a real game studio. But once we saw the script, once we started collaborating with the team, we realized, oh, they want a game, like an actual game. Of course, making an actual game would take years, so we started selecting the pieces that they really needed for certain scenes. And it was not long before we said, what if we make this actually playable? What if we make it so you can connect a controller and control the characters? And so that's what we ended up doing.
ده اللي احنا عايزين محتاجين ده.
Is this shovel? Exploding people's heads with this thing is straight fire. crunch, man.
We had requests to do things like make a contagious viral disease in which people bleed out of their eyeballs first, then they bleed out of their anus, and they vomit and bleed out of their anus at the same time.
مش عارف يترجمها ما اعرفش ولا مشغل على اليوتيوب.
You could trigger it in stages because we didn't know what the timing was going to be. The idea here is we can hit it and control the timing of when things are happening. So the next time you hit it, he starts puking out blood. And at this point, we would probably have the camera start panning back like this. And then you can hit the button again.
لا ما تعتزلش يا يوسف لعب الألعاب
بسببهم. started coming in. And so now they're all
لو بسبب شركات هتنزل ألعاب كتير.
And then the final is just everybody exploding in bloody gore. And then this was Keith's idea. He wanted the skulls coming up and bobbing up and down in the water. So.
David, can we actually make this quick? I've got a lot of work to do stripping Blood Ocean out of everything.
Yeah. Releasing a disease in the game right before a global pandemic was not a great look.
Today was the first time we showed Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet to an audience. I've never seen it with more than 6 or 7 people in a room. And so I wanted to make sure that we gave them an opportunity to hopefully recognize that this is a giant love letter to them, to the industry itself.
I was a little nervous, I gotta be honest. I thought it was gonna be a little cringy, but it was fantastic.
I thought there was a lot of truth and in the humor.
It's about time that we had a show about our industry.
You could tell when the audience was laughing, when they really hit something that felt like the game industry.
I think it's brilliant.
هو الموقع تقريبا فيه ترجمة.
All right, so if you have not yet seen it, the first season of Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet is available right now on Apple TV+, and
لا
a full version of the
مترجم
script
برضه
will be
في
coming out
الموقع
over the next few days. All
بس
right,
في
now
انت
it is
بتختار لغات
time
من
to
تحت.
fasten your
بتختار
seatbelts
لغات.
and start your engines as we head out to Lyon, France to visit our team at Ubisoft Ivory Tower to get an update on The Crew 2.
بتختار لغات.
Hi everyone, and welcome to The Crew 2 at Ubisoft Forward. My name's James Reese, I'm a community developer here at Ivory Tower, and I'll be your host for this quick glimpse into all the exciting things we have going on over the next few weeks. It's been 2 years already since launch, with 6 major updates and hundreds of vehicles under our belt. And our latest update, Summer in Hollywood, only went live a few days ago. Let's have a look.
هتشوف مترجم دلوقتي. ما يتكلموا.
Wait for you to get your hands on what's coming. There have been a few speed bumps along the way, but over the past 2 years, you, the community, have made the Crew 2 a motorsports playground where all players are welcome and where anything is possible. So thank you to the Crew's social, exchange, Discord, Reddit, and all of our players. We've got a little something for you in-game to show our appreciation. It's the 67 Volkswagen Beetle, so let's see what kind of Hollywood twist you can put on it.
اهو ما ده اللي حصل. انا على فكره انا شاكك ان دول والله شاكك ان دول تبع الشركه، مش عارف ازاي، اصل دول موجودين. انا حاسس ان هي مش هتدي العاب ببلاش، هي مش هتدي العاب ببلاش. وكود اساسن كريد اوديسي ونيو دون كود كده مستعمل، الناس هتدخله هيفتكروا ان هو حد دخله قبلهم ومحدش دخله قبلهم وخلاص، والناس هتعرف يعني. الناس هتعرف يعني اذا كانت الكود ده حقيقي حد دخله قبل كده.
In case you missed it, make sure to boot up the game right now to unlock the amazing 69 Volkswagen Beetle that was just shown in the video, and stay tuned in the near future for more info about year 3 of the Crew 2.
مش قد الحاجات المجانية ما يعملوهاش.
Studios who will be injecting a delirious dose of fun with Surgeon Simulator 2. Enjoy.
اضحكي يا عسلية.
Hi, I'm Nate from Bossa Studios, and I'm a senior game designer on the upcoming Surgeon Simulator 2. So at Bossa, we're always keen to share game development knowledge, and Ubisoft has been a fantastic partner in this. They deliver lectures on procedural content development and player science.
يوتيوب والله شاف اللفظ شالها لوحده.
And in turn, we shared with them the ideation processes that we use to develop
هي حاجة قذرة فعلا. هي حاجة قذرة.
Which brings me on to Surgeon Simulator 2. We've really doubled down on the physics-based pandemonium that the series is notorious for. And we've pretty much expanded on every other aspect of the game as well. This time around, you're no longer just a floating hand confined to the operating table. You're actually a full first-person surgeon with an entire medical facility to explore. And in addition to the levels that you'll find in story mode, you'll now be able to create your own unique levels and experiences using
كانت اللوجن in office
so it's really easy to use
in office site مش عارف يعمل لوجن في الموقع مش احنا لوحدين على فكرة.
in online multiplayer with up to 3 friends. Everything players create can then be uploaded and shared with the community. And
العابكم جميلة مرة. شكرا. يلا نبي الأكواد. ما هو الأكواد أنت لحقت منهم حاجة يا كابتن؟
We've seen players create all sorts of amazing stuff. From bowling alleys to space stations.
والله سجلت مش عايز اسجل والله العظيم. بصوا واتش دوجز دول تجي مجانية على البي سي فقط إذا سجلت في يوبيسوفت. يعني يوبيسوفت مجانية لو سجلت على يوبلاي والله العظيم سجلت والله.
You can receive exclusive closed beta.
طيب عزب تعال. طارق عزب تعال عند امك. طارق العزب ازعجتنا خلاص انجلع. هو طارق عمل لهم ايه؟ استغفر الله. لا انا عايز اعرف طارق عمل ايه. تعالوا بس كاريزما. تعالوا بس كاريزما. فواحد كتب له تعالى عند امك والتاني بيقول له انجلع ازعجتنا. روح عند امك امك بتدور عليك. جول بيموت. داخل واحد داخل يحرق زلازل في الجزء الثاني ليه؟ انا عايز افهم يا حيوان. نريد ريميك لاساسن كريد. دي حقيقي عايزين ريميك لاساسن كريد. جول بيموت. هو الحقير اللي داخل يحرق اللعبه بقى. يا عم دول داخلين يوبي سوفت مش حدث بلاي ستيشن. هو ما كانت الترجمه مزعج جدا بصراحه. انا مش عارف جات لهم منين ان هم يحطوا الترجمه في الوش كده يعني. يا مينا انا هنا اقرا تعال. منور يا واسع. اهو وسيم اهو. قرأت تعليقك يا وسيم. قرأت تعليقك.
where these 2 ducks are sitting on a bench having a date together, and there's another one somewhere where he's sitting with an umbrella.
يلعنك يا طارق. ما خلاص يا حبيبي بابو كاريزمة أهلك دي. ما خلاص.
Where we're trying to add some hope into the world, because you're coming in as a division agent to try and save what you can.
بس رئيسي ما بدأ والله ما احنا شايفين. هو احنا متخلفين يعني. ما فاضل 15 دقيقة لسه و 14 دقيقة و30 ثانية يعني.
One shrine in particular became a beloved fan favorite, showing up multiple times across.
واخيرا طيب وانت يعني كنت كتبت حاجه قبل كده وسيم وانا ما قريتهاش. قريت عليها اهو واخيرا كانت
productive.
يا ابو خفه دم امك. خفيفه.
We've been finding these rubber duckies all over the map. It says here on the wall.
شباب تعالوا البث الانجليزي حلو يعني. في مناظر البث الانجليزي. هنيجي نشوف مناظر يعني. ايه الفرق بين ده وبين الانجليزي؟
And he's got bottles of booze all around him. Not only that, but he has a couple soldier duckies.
استنى انت فوق؟ هو انت كاتب حاجات فوق؟
But there's more just like this in the Division 2.
What's really great about Arkham
مرحبا جميعا. شكرا لانضمامكم وسيم. صورتك دايما في بالي وعلى بالي وفي خيالي. مش لاقيك. راح كفر منور كاريزما. هنجيبك تاني يا وسيم. باقي 10 دقايق 13 دقيقة. خدت 3 دقايق في جيبك. 13 دقيقة كابتن. وين تحديث جوست ريكون؟ مش هقول اللفظ اللي اتقال ده. مينا أفضل ستريمر شكرا. لقد أخجلتني يا وسيم، لقد أخجلتني. حاول لو عرفت تسجل دخول يا رحيم قول لي والله، يعني أنا كمان عايز اللعبة، أنا مش عندي على الكمبيوتر. مش لدرجة فخ يا يوسف، يعني هو ما فيش أساسا شركات بتدي ألعاب مجانية، فما تكبرش الموضوع، الموضوع أصلا كبير لوحده. لا بجد الموضوع مش كبير، يعني عادي لعبة مجانية وما خدناهاش، مش فارقة. عارفة يا ريت يخلوا البث معاك انت، سيبك من الناس التانية. الكاميرا على الحلوة يا كابتن، خليها على الحلوة، مش التاني اللي مكسوف ده وحاطط ايده كده انت مش في مدرسة بابا. لا بقى هاتوا البت تاني بعد اذنكم يا حبيبي، والله العظيم العيب ما في الكمبيوتر. صدق يا رحيم العيب مش في الكمبيوتر. لا ما قال لك ايه يا وسيم، قال لك انت تاخدها تتفرج على عرض على موقعنا وتسجل دخول وتاخدها وتجيلك تاني يوم، يعني كده كده الناس مش عارفه تسجل دخول، وكده كده الناس مش هتاخدها النهارده، وكده كده الناس مش هتاخدها بكره. كلكم حيوا مينا بطلنا في الاستريم. والله اصلا انا لقيتك، والله شكرا يا وسيم، شكرا للناس يقولوا عليك ان انت جاي معايا ومش عارف ايه وانت جاي معايا. فيا شركات تحسب انه ناس مجرد كومة لحمه بدون. والله يا يوسف انا حاسك بقيت بتقول كلام كبير قوي، ويعني الموضوع بسيط عن كده، يعني ما تكبرش الموضوع، رايح دماغك. انا كنت بصراحه مستنيها مجانيه، بس هم حقراء بقى، هنعمل ايه يعني، هم حقراء جمع حقير. يلعن ابو شكلك يا طارق. الله يحرقك يا اخي، يحرقك انت وبس الكاريزما بتاعك ده. على فكرة أنا أكتر حاجة خلتني أشوف البث ده الممثل، يعني موضوع فار كراي 6. أنا عايز أشوف الإعلان بتاع فار كراي 6. أكبر تجمع للشواذ، أنا مش فاهم هو حاسبها كده ازاي، ده انمي شو حتى، فيعني واحد بتاع انمي المفروض يكون بيفهم عن كده. مينا ورحيم. عيب يا وسيم الكلام ده، عيب يا رحيم، الحق يا رحيم، بيقول عليك ايه؟ انت وقت فين يا رحيم؟ ده وقت تراستر في الكمبيوتر يا رحيم، بيستغل الموضوع.
We're here today to introduce you to an exciting new endurance challenge coming to Trials Rising.
ممكن تسكتوا؟ اسكت انت حبيبي، اسكت انت. ايه اللي ممكن تسكتوا؟ هو كان مؤتمر اهلك. ايوه تسجيل خروج قاصد يا رحيم، بس انت شفت وسيم كتب عليك ايه بس هنا يوبي سوفت؟ بص اهو هو اللي كاتب. اتصرف بقى مع وسيم يا رحيم. وقع، طب ما يقوموها، هيفضلوا موقعينها لحد امتى؟ مش هيدوا الناس حاجات هم. اهو كاتب اهو تحت يعني فوق الماوس على طول. انت اصلا مش يعني عيب بصراحه. اهي الكلمه اهي عادي على فكره اهو. بص اهي اهو، كبرتها لك اكتر من كده ايه مش عارف، كبرتها لك اهو. وانت رحيم مشي ولا راح فين؟ رحيم ربنا يقدرنا دايما على فعل الخير، ربنا يقدرنا دايما على فعل الخير يا وسيم. يعني بص احنا بنحب دايما نهدي النفوس، بحب دايما الواحد يهدي النفوس، يعني ربنا دايما يقدرنا على فعل الخير.
You heard that right. The Giga track is coming to the game, and it will be the longest, most insane track in Trials history, and it will be free for all Trials Rising players. Now for our last game update, the Ghost Recon Breakpoint team is ready.
دي تبقى شركة حرامية وبتتاجر في أعضاء البشر وبتتاجر في المخدرات وبتتاجر في الأسلحة وبتتاجر في كل حاجة حرام عشان تعمل جهاز بسعر كبير وتعمله مثلا ب$200. يعني تبقى شركة بص معاها مليارات المليارات ومش عارفه توديها فين. مفيش شركه عقلانيه تعمل كده يا يوسف. يعني مفيش، لا يمكن يا يوسف. وعمري ما اتخيل حاجه زي كده. الواحد كان ممكن يتخيله وهو صغير في خيال، انما لما كبرت وشفت الواقع عمرك ما هتتخيلها. والله ده لو موجوده كلنا هنكون معاها. ولو دي حطها في المستحيلات. فورتنايت افضل، واحد كده فورتنايت افضل، امشي يا مش هغلط. كمية الالفاظ هنا لا كمية الالفاظ هنا زبالة بصراحة. احنا المفروض ما يتعملناش بس عربي بأمانة. احنا المفروض ما يتعملناش بس عربي. احنا ما نستاهلش البث العربي اصلا. You can tell them to regroup on your location, to hold their current position, to go to. الناس بتشتم يعني. And to open fire on nearby enemies. These orders can be بجد يا جماعة ده ايه ده؟ ده كمية شتايم رهيبة. And drone. Once they approach potential threats, the teammates will notify you and mark them automatically. Got a hostile. With a good look for enemies, you will be able to set up a sync shot where each of your teammates picks a target. You can even link it to your 3 sync shot drones for a simultaneous 7 target takedown. The teammates have Ubisoft at all times. ليه ما في كودات حق سوني؟ عشان سوني مش موجودة. بص بقى الناس السخيفة دي، واحد عملها معايا في البث عندنا مسحته. اللي يقعد يكتب رسالة تك 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 أكتر من مرة، ده ما احبوش ده خالص. And their weapon of choice will have a direct effect on the battleground, depending on the type of weapon they have equipped. ومحمد اللي داخل على عمال يسأل على الشواذ اللي هنا، انت مالك يا حبيبي؟ مفيش واد هيجيلك. ايه ده؟ انمي شو توب الى الله. هو انمي شو بيشتم ولا ايه؟ استنوا يا جماعه، ده الموضوع كبير هنا. وايه انمي شو توب الى الله؟ يمكن عشان بتفرج على الانمي. مين عنده جراند 5؟ انا عندي جراند 5 بس مش هديها لك. اللي عاوز ياخد واتش دوجز شفته؟ كان الاول بيسأل على شواذ، دلوقتي اللي عايز ياخد واتش دوجز يجيلي. مش بقول لكم الواد محمد ده في حاجه غلط. هتابع على الموقع. انا حسيت الرساله مش كده بس يلا. هو كان هيقول يجي يتابع عندي على الموقع، بس بعد كده قال يروح يتابع على الموقع. حاول يظبط نفسه.
Hey Ghosts, I'm Grace from the Ghost Recon team. As you've just seen, the AI teammates are finally landing in Ghost Recon.
واضح اساسن كريد خايس. حتى انا بجيب شيء اكله، ما تروح تجيب شيء تاكله. يعني احنا لازم نعرف. اقترب المؤتمر الرئيسي. يوبيسوفت نزلت اقترب المؤتمر الرئيسي، ارجوكم انتظروا. ده حاجه من عندنا.
But that's not all. We've got one last thing to show you. Enjoy, and we'll see you on Aroa, Ghosts.
ده حد اندرويد باشا تقريبا عامل لايف. عليكم السلام يا احمد. منور احمد ماد ماكس. منور. انا عايز احمد وليد يجي، عايز اطمن عليه. كان قال ان هو تعبان امبارح. ما فتكش اي حاجه يا احمد والله. احمد ادخل كده ساعه، حاول تسجل كده على يوبيسوفت، ولو سجل معاك دخول عرفنا يا احمد، عشان احنا مش عارفين نسجل دخول ومش عارفين ناخد وش دوجز دو مجانا. يعني شوف كده يا احمد وقول لنا. ده لو عايز تاخد وش دوجز يعني على الكمبيوتر. الكراش بتاعتنا رايحين مع عدنا شفناها. مين الكراش بتاعتكم؟ قول لي مين. تويتر في تويتر انها قائمة لها مشاكل. لا نجيب تويتر. عملت تويتر في تويتر، نجيب تويتر على طول. نشوف الكلام ده. قالت ايه؟ لا تنسوا المكافآت هنا. سيبك من ده. We are aware of an issue causing some players to be unable to log in their Ubisoft account and we working towards resolve their. اوكي صح. اهو 2017. انت بتحلم. ايوه اهو من 11 دقيقة هم كاتبينها. كاتبين اهو بص يقول لك we are aware. احنا يعني بعلم بالمشكله اللي بتخلي بعض اللاعبين مش عارفين يدخلوا اليوبي سوفت اكونت بتاعهم، تمام، واحنا بنعمل على تصليح هذه المشكله. برو هلا Rainbow Six Siege, yeah!
I was gonna interrogate him. Oh, you can interrogate this guy though. Oh, okay.
اضحك اضحكوا. شايفين خفة الدم؟ انت كده بتعمل ايه؟ ايه الاباحة دي؟ والله ولا متحمس ولا نيل. انا بس عايز اشوف فاير كراي 6 عشان ما اشوفش الاعلان اللي اتسرب، بس ولا متحمس ولا اي حاجة. متحمس مين يا عم؟ قلبك ابيض يا احمد، قلبك ابيض قوي. ده انت قلبك ابيض جدا يا احمد.
So there's a line that people want me to yell, but I can't usually do it because I'll freak out my neighbours. But as you can see, I'm at the Crash and Ocean Beach, and there's no one too close. So reloading. Someone saw me. I gotta go.
المفروض ان احنا نضحك. انا عايز اتاكد العيب فينا ولا فيهم. الله عليك. شفت؟ ما انا عارف يا احمد، ما انا عارف ان القصه سيئه. بتعزف باتنين وهي لا دي مهاره كباره دي. انا نفسي اعزف على جيتار واحد، مش اعزف على اتنين كمان. حبوني، واحد كاتب حبوني.
If you also have amazing gameplay segments you captured from our game, spread the joy and submit them on the link displayed on your screen right now. All right, guys, it is time for us to wrap up this pre-show.
Don't forget to stay tuned for our post-show featuring.
بس دي حلوة برضه يا وسيم، يعني شغالة يعني.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thanks a lot for watching this pre-show and enjoy Ubisoft Forward.
اتفضل يا رحيم. اتفضل يا احمد. 4 3 2 1.
This is Ubisoft. This is Ubisoft Forward. Explore our world.
Meet the devs. See the games.
Join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar and I'm very excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf Mageed. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London and see what the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal suspected to have links with the terrorist group DedSec is masked as supposed to be dangerous. Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters, and I did not speak out because I was not a protester. Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out because I was not a journalist.
ما انت ايه خربت اهلك؟
And then they came for street artists, but I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
امال انت ايه؟ على فكرة أنا عاجبني الإعلان بجد، مش عارف ليه بس حاسس إن هو عاجبني.
And I realized that eventually they'd come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
And there's nothing more debilitating than that. Right. This way, not to be able to do what you're passionate about.
After a long night, London is in chaos. The main arteries through the city are blocked. Hundreds of heavily armed Albion...
Well. Welcome to the Resistance. There's a welcome gift for our new members.
But the disappearance of the criminal...
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents...
Reclaim your future.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a DedSec problem. Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team. And then they become the heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You're done.
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Welcome to the Resistance.
Our London town, a modern metropolis, built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
Oh my God. Listen up.
Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
He will stop at nothing to permanently control the city.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team. Like him, her, or even her. Everyone could become your next secret weapon. In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass, and that means breaking into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes. Mikey! Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone. Perfect for gate crashing, when you're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
هو حتى الآن ممتاز بصراحة، والفكرة ممتازة برضه. بس هو أنا متخوف من حاجة واحدة. دي مش فكرة ممتازة أوي إن هي تتعمل في وقت قصير.
We've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
أنا حتى الآن شايفين جيم بلاي، يعني نفسي لسه لما أجرب اللعبة.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires, she hits.
I'm reading incoming drones.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job
هي
done.
فكرة التنوع جميلة. بس أنا يعني اتعملت في مدة قصيرة برضه، من بعد وصول تقريبا 3-4 سنين.
But it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me.
حاسس إن الموضوع ممكن ياخد وقت أكتر من
However,
كده.
do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
بس الفكرة باين عليها كبيرة أوي الفكرة.
The human element here. I can get the defense minister on the line right now.
If you feel you must. Criminals running our streets.
الجرافيك طبعا زي الزفت.
The police commissioner himself.
شايفين حركة البق وشايفين حركة الوش. بس عشان نبقى يعني دي أنا كان لازم أتكلم فيها.
organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good.
The buyers expect high quality stuff. And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
That put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
التنوع في كل حاجة تمام بس ما اهتموش بالجرافيك خالص خالص.
He does have a slight drinking problem though. And he's passed out. We'll come back to him. You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional.
الدقن ايه الدقن دي؟ ده ايه خدتوا بالكم من ده؟ ده حاطط بلاستيك هنا على وشه؟
Some might even call him an artist.
نفسي اعرف ليه دايما عروض يوبي سوفت بتبقى على دراع اكس بوكس او على اكس بوكس. عروض الجيم بلاي دايما بتبقى مع اكس بوكس مش عارف ليه.
Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
ما ده اللي انا متاكد منه ان هي التعديلات البسيطه دي بدل اوديسي فالهالا هو ده التعديل الكبير في اللعبه.
But everyone can be a hero. So get out there, find the best recruits, and build your resistance. It's time to take back London.
October 2020, wow.
Plunging the player into a living, breathing city teeming with unique locales and characters has always been a central pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job
بس العادة حتى الآن حلو على فكرة ما فيهوش رغي كتير.
We get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict, and we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats. And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2. And there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. So I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they would go, oh my God, this feels like Camden. This feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster. When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, you know, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends on iOS and Android devices.
Brawlhalla.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
جهل التليفون ماشي هي جت عليها يعني.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
العاب جديده لا اعتقد ان هو يبقى العاب اتعلن عنها بس هيتعلن عنها اعلانات جديده ما اعتقدش العاب جديده النهارده خالص كل المنصات واتش دوجز كل المنصات الموجوده على الموقع دلوقتي ايه دي ريمبو 6 سيج عليكم السلام يا فاضل منور Rainbow Six Siege دي
Contact! Moat chain is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger. Inbound, danger close.
I need an EMP deployed now.
EMP imminent.
Get back in your cell!
Oh! اسمه ايه فيشر سام فيشر
Don't make me regret this.
توم كلانسي إليت سكواد coming soon دي شبه فورتنايت على بابجي على
Speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone, Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video to thank all of the amazing players and developers that have helped Siege become the game it is today.
هو مفيش دماء عشان هي تقريبا يعني الجرافيك بتاعها مش محتاج عنف يعني يا يوسف. شبه ريمبو 6 سيج على فكرة.
In December 2015, a small team released Rainbow Six Siege.
Xbox.
A game built on a strong vision, creativity, competitiveness, and team play.
Pour le joueur, le 1er décembre, c'est un début, mais pour nous aussi. Il faut tout de suite s'engager.
يعني ايه تحدث بالفرنسية؟ ما ترجمونا الفرنسية.
Tu peux t'y installer aussi, et nous serons là.
That original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a whole new level.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Ace and Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer shooter. Now, it's time to venture into the hyperscape.
حلو العرض، مش وحش على فكرة. انت تنور يا احمد في اي وقت.
Wait, what was that? A hack in a hyperscape. That's not supposed to be there. Let me get you all up to speed, okay? About 30 years ago, everything that we feared about our future started to come true. We made some good decisions. We made some bad decisions. Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions. So here we are. 10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities. But the people at Prisma changed everything.
ايام اي سي كانت حلوه على
They
فكره.
gave everyone a way
كان
out.
كله في عرض واحد في يوم واحد
The
وخلاص.
hyperscape. In the hyperscape, the biggest draw by far is Crown Rush. This is where anyone can become someone.
حاليا فين ايام اي 3 فعلا. الهايبر سكيب اللي انا عارفه ان هي هتبقى مجانيه. تقريبا مع بعض باتل رويال.
If you get good at Crown Rush, it can change your life. But strange things have been happening lately. Rumors of people getting hurt. Users disappearing from the real world. A darker secret lies at the heart of Hyperscape. And we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether. That's what brings us to the edge of the future. To the Hyperscape.
I'm JC, Creative Director on Hyperscape.
JC's work on Far Cry Primal and multiple Prince of Persia titles has established him as a top creative here at Ubisoft.
For me, what's exciting is we started building it from scratch, seeing it grow, adding ideas.
أحسن من عود باقي الشركات.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the Hyperscape.
The game takes place in 2054. It's in a future where humanity has grown a little darker. One of the companies there, they are launching what's called the Hyperscape, which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges. Within the virtual world, there is a battle royale that takes place.
بجد يوبيسوفت عملت عرض حلو، عاملة عرض حلو. طريقة العرض وكل حاجة كويسة.
Then we also introduce a lot of new things. You get the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more stressful. You get to go to the landmarks where there's more opportunities to get cool items, but also more players, so it's a risk-reward kind of deal. We introduce the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself, you can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield. So a lot of abilities that
وزي عرض بلاي ستيشن برضه، بلاي ستيشن ما كانوش بيتكلموا كتير.
And finally, it's made as a spectacle, so all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few minutes, there's going to be a vote, and viewers will be able to decide what effect they want to affect the whole battle. So things like changing the gravity, infinite ammo, or stuff like that. So players, while this happens, really have to adapt to all kinds of stuff that is happening. So for me, it's really exciting because right now, as we speak, we are launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available for free-to-play for all PC players worldwide. And I really want to thank all the players, all the streamers, and all the viewers who participated in tech test and who will participate in the open beta. Here's a short glimpse of what you can expect.
انا حاسس شويه كمان وهيقول عايش كوتيموا.
Watch and learn how it's done. Perfecto.
Showtime.
اصل طريقه كلامه كانت قريبه قوي من الاغنيه دي، يعني قريبه قوي من الشاب خالد. عايش سلبة او مش عارف يعني بيقول ايه، بس يعني بيقول كلام حلو.
Watch closely. Here we go.
لا دي مجاملة واضحة. صوتي مش بشع بس كويس يعني ينفع اغني لنفسي بس مش اكتر. Free 13 tier battle pass. Open beta 12 النهارده.
The digital world of the Hyperscape gave our artists and developers incredible freedom when it came to designing characters.
Production manager Ana Maria Musca is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
حلوة ماريا موسكا حلو.
My name is Ana Maria Musca. I'm the production manager.
لا مش ماريا موسكا،
البت
البت التانية هي اللي حلوة.
We have
اللي كانت اتكلمت على ماريا موسكا.
amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different materials until we see them as real individuals, as real people. So the second you pick a character, you see them in game, you understand what their motivations are and what drives them and what challenges them.
من لبسهم؟
This was the first lineup of characters. This is our default base, but even starting from the hair down, everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new outfits for these characters. So we're hoping some of our players are gonna see the effort and maybe even correlate some of the accessories to what's gonna happen in the game.
واو من عينينا.
We're very excited to see it in people's hands.
كيف مش هلعبها ماشي. كده مش هلعبها فيعني جاي.
As we move into the next generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
مين؟
Hey,
أنا عيب قلت إكس بوكس.
Phil Spencer from Xbox. With Watch Dogs Legion,
أنا قلت إكس بوكس والله.
Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry forward. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed.
كده هشتري بلاي ستيشن بس هم يوبيسوفت مع اكس بوكس دايما مش عارف ليه.
Gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming up now.
يا خليته فيل سبنسر هو اللي هيتكلم على فالهالا. لا هو في ناس كتير بتشتري اكس بوكس برضه، اكس بوكس محترم مش وحشه. بس انا لا مش حابب اكس بوكس. او مش شايف ان يستاهل اشتريه.
So a couple of weeks ago we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of Vikings is really inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really
لا ده كان راجنر روزبرغ هو اللي عايز يلاقي أرض تانية.
So for us to have this opportunity to tell kind of the real story about Vikings and kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and England take the same roads that the Vikings did to really experience what it meant to be a Viking at that time. And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming by boat in England and see those rolling green hills full of sheep, full of life, is just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game. It is a personal adventure, you know, it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game. They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available. Obviously, in England, it's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper. Vikings were brutal warriors.
Shields!
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system, to leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat. Vikings were not only fighting face-to-face, they were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings. We are very happy to finally be able to show you the game we've all been working on. So please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
ورينا بس واسكت انت. ورينا واسكت انت والنبي. عايزين نتصدم في صمت.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will relive the epic saga of the Viking invasion of England. You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go a Viking.
الجرافيك.
Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers by longship, you may raid locations you spot from the shoreline. Ground your ship and blow your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle.
Revive.
Will assist you in all your raids, fighting enemies, battering down doors, and stealing cargo too heavy.
كويس انهم رجعوا الشيلد تاني بصراحة زي اوريجنز. الشيلد كان حلو.
Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map. It will serve as a record of the allies you have made and a guide for future opportunities. The Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game. Every archetype offers a unique challenge. Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks.
Wow,
while others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors. To face these attacks, you must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat. Snare them with a Viking harpoon.
Wow.
Pummel them with throwing axes. incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance, or finish them off. Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly combination of attacks. Customize your fighting style as you see fit and become a legendary Viking warrior. All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including two shields. Not all situations call for violence. In this new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt. As Eivor is not welcome in England, you may need to outsmart your enemies, avoiding unwanted attention in towns and cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds and slip past watchful eyes. An unseen hunter among the people.
والله وحشني الحاجات دي.
From capital cities and villages to the dense forests and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure. Hunt and forage to replenish your health and fortify your equipment. Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement. The more you explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ravens, show no mercy.
أنا عايز أعرف مين الأساسي.
But as you push deeper into
الواد ولا البت؟
the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Today we will reclaim her. Today we fight for your land, and tomorrow we rebuild.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport you to wondrous and haunted lands, inspired by Norse myths and England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise.
أيوة بس أوديسي كان الأساسي كاساندرا.
Thrilling triumphs and tragic losses, giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
لا 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 حلوة حلوة حلو النظام بتاع الكومبات والستيلز عجبني يا الستيلز يا بجد يا يعني Yeah.
9th century England is truly unlike anything the franchise has seen before. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
هو ما قالش حاجة بيس 5 صح؟ ما قالش ما جابش سيرة بيس 5.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet. In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before ending this show, we have one more thing to share with you.
أيوة Far Cry 6 كده خليك محترم. واو واو ده جميل قوي بصراحة الدخلة كمان فار كراي 6 ما عايز اشوف مسلسل عشان الممثل ده. طبعا ما فهمتش اي حاجه من العرض، بس هو العرض حلو. ده لسه ما خلصش. افتكرت ده كده العرض دي دخلت فيلم، دي مش دخلت لعبه.
It's beautiful, amigo. Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa.
Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Breathe, Diego. Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom.
Oh.
Follow me. Now.
Wow.
I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, they will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong. They will answer you with screams, call you evil, a monster, and give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has 2 basic parts. Our people and you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom. Do you understand now? Prove it.
واو 18/2/2021.
And with that, we're wrapping up our first Ubisoft Forward. Today, we've seen the next generation of Assassin's Creed, the birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs Legion, the cyber chaos of Hyperscape, and the epic reveal of Far Cry's newest installment, along with so much more.
Remember, we'll be back later this year with another Ubisoft Forward filled with tons of game news and updates.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf Magid, and this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to take a deep dive into about 30 minutes of gameplay, and we're joined by a very special guest here.
Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so here we're midway through the quest that we're showing for UB Forward. Here we're looking at the assault of Berg Castle. So these are big moments that usually sort of culminate at the end of the story. And so here Eivor, our Viking raider, is taking a group of raiders and Fyrds into Berg Castle to go and take down Rued and his clan.
So who exactly is Rued, and why does Eivor sort of want to pick a fight with him?
Basically, Rued comes into play about halfway through this story arc, where at the beginning of the arc, this is something that happens before, Rued basically caused a lot of turmoil within the territory, and Oswald, who's the sort of elderman to inherit this territory, needs your help to take him down. Oswald having just been defeated in a previous quest, and so here this is revenge, but also accomplishing your ultimate goal.
So Fizz, as you're talking, we're seeing some of the combat of Valhalla. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to combat this time around?
We wanted to basically add a lot of new mechanics to it. So we added like some dual wielding for the player, like a stun system in there. And we really needed to do this to sort of portray that sort of the brutality that comes with being a Viking. The day so it sort of fits into that and the character.
Oswald. He lives.
Oswald Kabelbot.
Oswald lives!
Eivor, is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor has taken her entire army through the assault, and finally it's revealed that our Elderman, our ally, Oswald, is still alive, and Rued has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolfkist? Two Danes fighting over a filthy Saxon whoreson? If this swine is your prize, come and get him!
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive, we have Rued within our sights. What's the next step here?
So the next move for Eivor is to finally face off against Rued. She has her allies, they can take care of the rest of the army. Now it's time to go one-on-one against Rued in one of our boss battles, actually.
Your battle is not yet won, Oswald.
And it's worth pointing out, actually, that here what we're showing is the player going and facing off against Rued aggressively, but you tend to always have to support a 360-degree approach in these things. So if the player could have approached a little bit more stealthy and gotten at least like a good critical hit on either Rued or his wolf, and so you can play this a little bit more strategically if that's your playstyle.
So we're not only fighting Rued here, but also his pet wolf, right?
Here, one of my preferred strategies is to eliminate the wolf first, just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now, Rued will have extra abilities that come into play if you do eliminate his wolf, but I think having one opponent less in the battlefield makes for a good strategy in the whole.
ده أنا عادي جدا ممكن أهزم الاثنين في نفس الوقت.
For all your efforts, only the cold dark of Niflheim awaits you.
Valhalla is my destiny.
Niflheim awaits you.
Why doesn't they should be roomed, Wolf-kissed? Made thralls, not
هي واتش دوجز كل واحد فشل في تسجيلها ياخد واتش دوجز.
And all of them.
Do not drag me down to the sewage you wallow in.
Just a Dane fight tooth and nail for a Saxon. You throw in with these wastrels, these arrogant swine?
Eivor, no! He should be tried before God, a lawful assembly.
All right, so we've defeated Rued, we've freed Oswald. What comes next?
Oswald, in this case, prefers for Rued to be kept alive, and so you basically have to choose: are you going to go against his wishes or stay true to your nature?
So we have this choice to make, but before we get into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big, grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies. So let's actually rewind and see how we went about first gathering those troops.
Right, so when coming up to an assault, it's a game of numbers. Eivor can go into pretty much any location and be a stealthy Viking, eliminating some of the assets, which ultimately would be a strategy. You can do that, and you'll have some of the ingredients or of the assets there that will have been sabotaged, but you still need an army. So here what we're seeing is Eivor going around the countryside and raising what we call a fyrd, which is the men and the women of the territory who come up and fight in the name of a king. So here Eivor is going around and trying to convince people to fight in the name of Oswald to finally take down the oppressor that is Rued.
Defending East Anglia, defending you. Will you not do the same?
What? Die in defense of a lost cause?
Yeah, so she's really using like the image and like the leadership that Oswald had, what he meant to the people. In his name, she's going to recruit these people.
Pretty words, Dane. But the men of Theovard have their own battles to fight.
So we're told by this Reeve that there are troops, there are allies that he could add to our cause, but first we sort of need to do him a favor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Rued and the impact he's had on the territory, so I think a lot of these people have sort of lost hope. And so you need to show them that there is hope. And so here Eivor is basically helping them take back one of their prized locations by taking a couple men and raiding a nearby township, basically taking it back for the people and showing that there's a reason to continue fighting and then get them on your side. When Eivor does this, obviously you have access to a full suite of abilities. So again, the improvements that we've done to the fight system, you have some brutal axe throwing in there. You have archery or like range combat abilities in there as well. So really, again, like depending on what your playstyle is, you can customize your loadout and go in there how you wish.
Wow. Fizz, we just saw this giant pulse go out. What exactly was that?
So that is what we call the Odin sight. The Odin sight is basically our interpretation of the eagle vision from previous games, and we thought it was good to sort of bring that back. It's basically Eivor's intuition. It's how she perceives the world. When player uses that, it'll highlight basically interactive objects, like things that will bring her an advantage. So we'll have arrows, like health consumables that are in there. So it really is like a good way of sort of understanding the world and showing you like things that you can go and touch.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of things we can touch, we just picked up this awesome new weapon.
It's something we wanted to play with on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where we have fewer weapons in the game, but you can invest in them more, so they become your weapon. And so depending what your preferred playstyle is or your preferred weapon type, then you can go and choose, I'm gonna fight with this weapon and invest heavily into that.
واحنا بنتفرج كده نتكلم في كام حاجة كده. أولا حاجة مهمة والله لازم أقولها لكم. في حد المشترك عندها حوالي 80,000 مشترك. يوبيسوفت اديتها خليتها بتعمل ستريم، هي تعمل بس الألعاب، خليتها تجرب اساسنز كريد فالهالا وهي منزلة الفيديو دلوقتي، فمنزلة بس دلوقتي. فاتمنى والله ان في يوم من الايام يوبيسوفت تعملها معايا، اوصل لل 80,000 بس الاول، بعد كده يوبيسوفت تعملها.
Let's jump back now and figure out what we want to do with Ruid.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today, and so it will be.
Compassion is a virtue suited for anyone, Eivor, including you. Thank you.
Eivor decided to let him live. Ruud is really angry about that. Being a Norse Viking, being put to the death in battle is your road to Valhalla. So he was basically denied access to Valhalla in this situation. Obviously, all these decisions come into play later on in the game, so we have very difficult decisions for the player to make. We didn't want to have easy decisions.
Yeah, you know, when I was playing, I decided to listen to Oswald and spare Ruud's life, but what exactly is the relationship like between Eivor and Oswald?
So the relationship between Eivor and Oswald is an alliance. It's basically Eivor is surrounded by territories that initially getting into England are hostile towards her. And obviously, if you want to set up a new settlement, you want to make sure that your neighbor is friendly. So here in East Anglia, Oswald is the man for the job, where putting him into a position of power would
هنا دي
help her
اولا
secure her territory.
نسخة نقول الستاندرد
Earlier on to the territory,
ديجيتال بس مفيش اي حاجة. ماشي. بلاي ستيشن 4 وبلاي ستيشن 5 اكس بوكس سيريس اكس واكس بوكس 1. ده اول شوترز اللي هتنزل يوم 29/10. موجودة على كل المنصات. دي أولاً. Assassin's Creed.
What do you say we head out, have some fun, and see what we can get into in the open world?
November 17 November.
So we see a cat here with a speech bubble above it, and you best believe if you let me talk to a cat, I'm gonna talk to a cat.
مش كاتبين أسعار.
Some of our some of my favorite moments actually in the game, where we put out a whole bunch of events.
ومش كاتبين PS5 Xbox One.
And it sort of rewards again exploration, going around.
بس هو أنا سمعت في العادة قال Xbox Series X مش عارف ليه.
A different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like politics and warfare, and this shows a slightly more human nature to her. So it permitted us.
And later Xbox Series X and the PS5 better. اهو حلو ده. بصوا بيرش Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Xbox One او PlayStation 4 and upgrade your game to the next generation version. مفيش اي اضافه، مش هتدفع فلوس ثانيه لو اشتريتها على PlayStation 4 او Xbox. يعني هتاخد نسخه المحصنه على طول على الجهاز الجديد. حلو ده حلو.
So yeah, as you're riding around the rivers of England, you would see a cat basically walking around your longship, keeping your Viking raiders company.
You know, speaking of the Viking longship, we're seeing some of that gameplay here now. Can you talk a little bit about how that works and functions in Valhalla?
Yeah, so starting out on this project, I think the Viking longship is one of the biggest images that we all have when we think about Vikings in our game. And so Vikings had this awesome design for longship that had a very shallow hull, so it permitted them to go very far inland very quickly, and you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any.
وبالنسبة صح ليوبيسوفت الايفنت هوايكم برضه كاتبين ايه برضه؟ يعني واحنا قاعدين مع بعض كده هوايكم.
And raid a location, loot all his treasure, get back on the ship, and then continue
Don't worry, we all be giving out the words to all of you, even if you were unable to log in successfully. حتى لو ما كنتش عارف تعمل log in. Sit back and enjoy the show. يعني خلاص كله هياخد اللعبة. كله هياخد المكافآت.
Your ship to become like your home away from home. So we added stories and songs into Skull sort of sing a song for you as you row down the river.
كله هياخد المكافآت اللي هي وتشوف له كل حاجة. فاقعد بقى واستريح كده.
And they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are, so you get to know your sort of fighters as you're traveling around the world, which is a cool moment.
So here we're seeing a bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
we had this on previous Assassins where you would like ride on your horse and you could pull out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails. It's cruise control for the ship, so you can pull back, take in the scenery, listen to some songs or some stories, and just take it all in.
So, speaking of Viking songs, we have an activity here that's not exactly singing, but kind of related, right?
Yeah, so here what we have is what we call flighting, which was an activity that Norse people would partake in. They would like to have a battle of wits and sort of poetry where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have a good rhythm and a good rhyme in there. So it's basically a precursor to rap battles.
Here's the silver. Now begin.
To all those whom I speak, they say Eivor's a clod.
Then you're speaking to fools and their knowledge is flawed.
Well...
How exactly do you go about being successful in one of these?
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the right insult, identifying the right cadence, and then trying to find what rhymed the best.
I'm known for my might.
Interesting. Interesting.
Interesting.
Silent whispers all claim that you're terribly dense.
Then you've clearly misheard them. My wit is immense.
Oh, you looked out with that one. Well, what a surprise. Eivor of the Raven Clan is a true talent. I'm shocked.
Don't believe everything you hear, unless it touches on my flighting. Then heed every word.
Take the coin.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's time for a bit more relaxing activity. So we're fishing here.
Yeah, that's it. So we gave Eivor a fishing line, so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This is used basically to play into our new health loop, where the player will lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically generate like we have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some supplies. So you'll find mushrooms and some food that you can gather. But here, like you can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We also will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out on the side of the water and just again take it all in.
هما بيصطادوا السمك كده مفيش يعني بيحدفوا كده ويقفشوا السمك.
Offering altars. So the idea is that you find these around the world and you make offerings to it. So it'll take like animal parts and stuff that you can find throughout the world. Here what you're seeing though is sort of like a fancy version of it, where as you do your offering you get interrupted by some kids that basically come and steal your stuff. So it's just a way for us to sort of showcase that like the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little events. So it's our way to sort of dress up these moments and make it all fit inside the whole experience.
Yeah, this seemed like a really sort of unexpected turn for what I thought was going to be kind of a simple
2
interaction.
skill points.
Yeah, and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than just the pure rar Viking or the politician. Because you can imagine at some point that will grow old if you're always telling that version of the character. So it lets us really go into the depth of who is Eivor, what motivates her, how she can interact with the world outside of warfare and politics.
Your stealth needs work.
And it also showcases like a different facet of the world at the same time. It's not only Eivor. So it just widens the breadth of the stories that we can tell.
So who exactly are these two children?
These are kids of East Anglia. They are going through tough times with whatever Rued's been doing to the territory. And so they're just here trying to survive and basically exploit the people that are there to make offerings.
It was kind of nice to see that Eivor wasn't really necessarily upset at them for stealing, and after you talk to them, you have the choice of helping them. You can give them food, give them some money, or maybe just say, hey, good luck, on your way.
Yeah, and then this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event, we do it in quests as well, but we want to give a lot of this agency into players' hands so that they can sort of shape Eivor a little bit, who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can role play that a little bit better. And again, it just gives her like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
What large walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
Here, large walker.
A necklace?
Yes, it's a St. Martin seal. You're welcome here anytime, large walker. You're one of us now. Visit us, okay?
عايز اتاكد فار كراي دي جيل جديد بس ولا جيل جديد وقديم؟
So I think AC veterans might recognize this here, but what exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Yeah, so here you're seeing Eivor running down one of our tattoo images. So this is challenging the player on free run abilities, but also for fans of the series, sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
So are we going to be able to tattoo Eivor?
Yes, by collecting these tattoos, you actually bring them back to your settlement, and then you can customize different body parts, having different tattoos everywhere. So again, another form of expression, and it's sort of to represent that Viking culture.
Fizz, one of my favorite things when I was just out there exploring East Anglia was coming upon a house or a building and realizing that there was a chest inside, but that there was no easy way in. And in this case, I saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a chest in there must have been some way to get inside. So I went around the back and, found a way in.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually caught on to that. You're pointing at something that we wanted to work on a lot on Valhalla, where we wanted the exploration to make you feel smarter. So we played a lot with puzzle solving, so making sure that every house that you find sort of appeals to you, like it draws your attention, and then when you want to come and explore, it's not given to you. You still have to work for it a little bit, so it'll challenge you on your observation skills, logic, just trying to find how do I get into this. So we play a lot with level design, quest design to offer challenges to players, and you basically come out of it like with a better feeling for the exploration, but you also get to see more of a story behind any of these locations which we've crafted. So it gave us a little bit more time to sort of slow down the experience and tell a different version of a story.
A poor victim of someone's fury.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about exploration and just finding things out in the world, I was just wandering and came across this clearing and found this kind of morbid altar.
Yeah, so
واكتر من حد بيقول ان الجزء السادس ده قصة حياة شرير الجزء الثالث. انا ما لعبتش ولا جزء من فار كراي.
Altars like this, and by interacting with them, here it's a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now, there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple steps to it later on. So this is one of the moments. It permits us to go into a slightly more mystical realm and play with a boss fight that has more magical abilities, if we will. And basically
حلو ده.
in the middle of the swamp.
انا عاجبني السلاح ده اصلا.
And so here the abilities that you see Reagan using are a little bit on the mystical side of things. What's happening is Eivor at the beginning in that trap is poisoned, and so she starts sort of hallucinating, seeing the world in a sort of different light and filter. And so that's sort of what lets us go into the realm of the weird.
My rage, spirit of my father's rage, fill me!
Oh.
Enough cracking. Arrest the demons.
So we just saw saw here that Regan belongs to something called the Daughters of Lyrion.
Yeah, that's correct. By finding the other daughters, you'll get a little bit more backstory on who they are, so we don't want to spoil that too much. But it creates like a sort of greater story that is not on the main path in any way, but it is still very rich and adds to the lore of this world and actually plays into history.
So we just had a really exciting, really intense boss battle. I think it's time for something a little bit more relaxing and calming now.
Yeah, it's all about pacing yourself with the highs and the lows. So here we have a low chill moment of what we call building a cairn. So Eivor, as she explores the world, will find these sort of meditative areas where you have a pile of rocks that you could just stack on top of one another using physics. And I mean, yeah, the ultimate goal is to try and get the highest pile of rocks, but really it's about taking in the sights,
أكيد عليها توفي
taking a
دي.
step back and just building something.
Together we stack stones into cairns.
These?
Yes. Think of this as a test of mind and wit. Stack the cairn stones high and wide into any shape you like.
I mean, you can spend as much time as you want building these things, making them as high as you want, as weird as you want. I'm sure, like, a lot of these stuff will end up on the internet, like people comparing structures. And the cool thing is that once you've built it and you decide to get out of it, it sort of stays there. And so that's yours, right? And until the moment where you come back and you want to build a new one, it's sort of cool that we were able to give that to players to express themselves.
At this point in the demo, we've
New
explored
skill
each
point.
We've
Oh.
met some children, we've broken into a house, we fought a boss, we built a cairn. I think now it's finally time to go and head off to Oswald's wedding.
Yeah, so this is the moment it's all been building up to. By the moment you get into the territory, sort of like mentioned by Oswald, that he's trying to get married with his Dane lady. And so as you go through the arc, that's sort of like the underlying thread. Really, it's about Rued creating turmoil in the territory and helping Oswald sort of get above that and show that he's a good leader. And so you finally, after going through all of that arc, finally get these two together, go through their wedding, and you're invited to attend the ceremony. And then all the activities and fun times that comes afterwards.
Yeah, as much as we've seen the brutal side of England.
الكلام هنا بقى في الجيم بلاي ده غير جيف كيلي لما قعد يتكلم في سايبر بانك كان بيتكلم بطريقه غريبه وبسرعه بسرعه 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 ما بيقولش حاجه مفيده. فجيف كيلي كان رخم لما كان بيتكلم في العالم، انما الكلام ده كويس. الطريقه الراحه ان انت تسمع وتشوف كان في فرق عن سايبر بانك.
It's a good alliance of Norse culture with Saxon culture, sort of smashing those two things together and building bridges.
Yeah, I mean, what's a wedding without some drunk archery, right?
Yeah, so like anything can happen in a Viking event, right? Eivor, yeah, here you just get drunk, shoot some arrows.
Barely a challenge.
Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race. The king and his bride against all.
My king, he...
Oh.
So here we see the decision I made to spare Rued came back to bite us.
Yep, that's the decision you made coming back. So as we said before, all of your decisions have consequences, and this is a big one.
I challenge you. I accept.
You're basically presented with the option to sort of step in for Oswald, fight the fight for him, or let him go and fight his own fight.
Yeah, you know, personally, I chose to fight myself because I thought Eivor is the type of person who likes to finish what she started.
Plank by plank, and a dead king cannot keep his oaths. Let me finish this.
Oswald, you gutless Arya swine! I'll slay the wolf-kissed, then hang you with your own tongue.
How does this encounter with Ruud differ from our previous fight with him?
So at this point, you've eliminated his wolf, so it's just him, and so he's angry at this point, and so he will.
ده بقى الوحش ان هم يعيدوا حاجه جيم بلاي يعني في اختيارات. لما انت ممكن تختار الاختيار ده انت تحقق لك الحته دي. ما بحبش كده.
Literally swords blazing at you, and so this is a fight to the death. And of course here, like, this is a decision you made to go and fight him, but there's multiple outcomes to this scenario. You could have let Oswald fight his own fight and prove basically his station as the rightful leader. If you had eliminated Ruud, obviously this would not have happened. It would have been a slightly more joyous occasion. But ultimately, in all scenarios, you still have an alliance with Oswald. He's proven to be the right leader for this territory and to be a good ally for you.
I promised you an alliance, and now you have it.
And one day I will need you to make good on that alliance.
So we're about to take off from the wedding, but Eivor decides it's a good idea to check up on her friend Finner.
Yeah, so Finner is probably
بيلعبوا ليه بالبنت ما يلعبوش بالولد ليه؟ أنا عايز أتأكد أنهي الشخص اللي قصته أساسية.
Used to have a Viking life, sort of misses it, and going through all these adventures together is sort of like lights that fire back, and so he's willing to join you in your raiders. So he's one of many raiders that you'll encounter in the game, and you can sort of recruit, bring back home, and then have them sort of join you on your adventures on
كيف وضع الكود.
stories that we're telling you about. You get a little to know a little bit more about him. So again, it's a fun way to sort of discover more about these characters that you meet and bring them along for adventures.
Together.
I'll gather my things.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of our Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough. Fizz, thank you so much for joining us. When and where can people play it?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be out on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, and is coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Stadia on November 17th.
اللي لحق خد حاجة، لحق اللي ما لحقش ما خدش. Up next Hyper Escape thanks to our PC مش عارف ايه. ماشي اوكي يعني كده العروض المهمة كده بتاعت لما أجد لا انت تاخد الكود وتدخله في نفس اللحظة. يعني انت كده الاكواد اللي انت خدتها دي اكيد في حد تاني يستخدمها وخد اللعبة اللي هم كانوا كاتبينها عليها. انت تاخد الكود وتكتبه في نفس اللحظة على يوبلاي وتاخد لعبتك، انما ما ينفعش تستنى. انت كده اولا الاكواد اللي عندك هي كده مش يعني مش هتشتغل عشان خلاص في حد تاني اكيد خد اللعبة. بس المفروض بتفتح يوبلاي لو انت دلوقتي على الكمبيوتر، تفتح يوبلاي وتدخل على اكتيفيجن كي وتكتب الكود وتدوس انتر. انا حتى مش عارف اعمل لوج ان على يوبلاي. واو، المشكلة طلعت اكبر من الموقع ذات نفسه. طلعت اكبر من الموقع ذات نفسه.
Hyperscape, you do have those supply crates that you may be lucky enough to find. And what's the deal with supply crates?
So supply crates are placed around the world, so you'll hear them and then you can go and find them. And then
العفو تنورني في أي وقت بسؤالك.
You find slightly better weapons and hacks within them. Here now we've switched, so we're looking at Chimera instead. So he's in the landmark, he's in Helios now, and he's still in the looting phase. But as you can see from the red triangle up there, there's actually some friends or not friends in there with him just now.
Yeah, so the action gets started. Okay, right here.
Yeah, so he's one-on-one. He's going with the mammoth shotgun against someone who's using a heal hack at the minute, which is the red circle you can see. So that player's taking extra health at that point.
واضح إن اللوج إن موضوع كده عن الموقع ذات نفسه. ده بقى هنا كمان، مع ان العادي اليوبلاي كان شغال عادي. مش عارف ده خرجوني لوج اوت كمان من على يوبلاي اللي على البي سي. المهم تدخل على اكتيفيجن كود وبتدخل المفروض. بالنسبة للواتش دوجز مش عارف هيدوها للاعبين امتى، يعني ما قالوش معلومة زي دي، ما قالوا ان هم هيدوها لنا بس، وكل الجوائز المفروض، بس امتى ما قالوش. المفروض النهارده او بكره يعني. المفروض كل اللي شاف العرض على الاقل دقيقة ياخد اللعبة. المهم بعيدا عن هايبر اسكيب، تعالوا نشوف العروض من اول وجديد. نشوف انهي الاول، نشوف لا نشوف فار كراي. نشوف فار كراي احلى.
Fuerzas ultrapenetrantes, estamos cansados de los farsantes, de
قائد التصنيف.
It's beautiful, amigo. Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa.
Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Breathe, Diego. Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom. Follow me.
بس هو المفروض ان البناطيل المقطعة دي كانت موجودة زمان او حاجة زي كده. في البلد المتبهدلة دي كانوا في بناطيل مقطعة عند ركبة كده.
I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, they will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong.
خلي بالك يا ديجو، القنبلة هتفرقع وهتموتنا.
They will answer you with screams, call you evil, a monster, and give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has 2 basic parts. Our people and you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom. Do you understand now? Prove it.
هو بيفتح ايده، قفل الموضوع. تتوفر في 18/2/2021 اكس بوكس 1، اكس بوكس سيريس اكس، بي اس 4، بي اس 5، ايبك، يو بلاي، ستاديا. ايه ده؟ مفيش ستيم خالص ليه؟ يعني غريبة يعني. هيحطوها على ايبك جيمز ستور، ليه ما يحطهاش على ستيم؟ وطبعا ستاديا عشان هما يوبي سوفت وقفت مع ستاديا برضو، هتحط ألعابها على ستاديا. سمارت ديليفري، مش مهم سمارت ديليفري، ما كده كده هتبقى فري ابجريد على البيس 5، فمش فارقة يعني. هو لازم يحطوا كلمة سمارت ديليفري حاجة للإكس بوكس. HDR 4K Ultra HD. حلو. اطلبها مسبقا. اوه ده الكلب اللي يوسف كان بيتكلم عليه. اطلبها مسبقا وتاخد حزمة liberated ديسكوس لوكاس. وكلب، كلب بعجل بدل رجليه عجل. حلو، ده اللي يوسف كان بيتكلم عليه، ما انا ما كنتش فاهم ايه موضوع الكلب. هو اكيد الكلب ده ليه فايدة في اللعبة اكيد. اللي كنتوا تشوفوا ده لحد ما اتأكد من الموضوع.
So there's still 5 teams left.
الموضوع هي موجودة بي اوردر ولا لأ؟ المفروض تكون موجودة بي اوردر على البيس. ستور على
They have a nice variety of weapons between them. You know, someone's got a salvo, there's a skybreaker, there's a ripper. They really split in terms of hacks and weapons, so they have a nice diverse selection in terms of game style. So you see him go up high now, he's probably going to use the skybreaker. And he has
موجودة على البي اس.
So now you mentioned that username. You'll notice
الستاندر $60، الجولد اديشن $100.
This is the feature we call streamer protection. So it allows you to anonymize who's in the game.
مش الجولد اديشن في العادي بيبقى 80.
Players managed to find themselves in the corner and tried to hide. Unfortunately, they've been chased in there by someone with a fully fused salvo. So that
متخيلين السعر؟ الجولد اغلى من، هو 3 نسخ التيميت وجولد والنسخة العادية. العادية $60. الجولد زيادة $40. واو واو بجد عالي أوي السعر، عالي جدا. والالتيميت $20 عن الجولد $120. بس عايز أتأكد ايه الفرق بين الجولد includes the game season pass 3 DLC and more. في 3 DLC هيجوا للعبة، فالجولد اديشن هيبقى فيها 3 DLC وحاجات زيادة. بس $40 زيادة. الجيل الجاي شكله هيبقى غالي فعلا، غالي الجيل الجاي. اوف واتش دوجز برضه الجولد اديشن $100. لا يوبي سوفت على فكرة مغلية الأسعار جامد. الجيل الجاي ده يوبي سوفت مغلية الأسعار جامد. ده ايه ده؟ لا فعلا الشركات هتستهبل قوي الجيل الجاي. $100 ليه؟ واو الأسعار مع نفسها خالص يعني.
So yeah, he's got the crown. The countdown is on. As soon as if he were to get eliminated, it would drop, and that.
كل النسخ العادية $60. الجولد اديشن زيادة $40. ما كانوش كده، كان زيادة $10-20 عن النسخة العادية، مش $40 مرة واحدة. هي الفكرة الإضافات أصلا سعرها هيبقى كام بعد كده؟
You could sneak around and grab that crown and survive.
If you use your hacks well and you use your movement and hide a lot, then yeah, you could possibly grab the crown, get to the end.
Wow. واضح فعلا ان هم هيستهبلوا جامد الجيل الجاي ده.
A screen I'll never see. All right, well, that was just one match of the frenetic fast-paced game, Hyperscape, that we are both very lucky to work on. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching UB Forward in this post-show. As we mentioned before, the game's available right now in open beta on PC. Just go to Uplay. And we're also thrilled to be taking part in a Twitch live event with the information appearing magically on the screen.
المهم العرض السينمائي ما اعتقدش هيبقى مهم قوي.
And we'll see you in the Hyperscape.
ودلوقتي شفناها سانسكريت شفناها ويوبيسوفت خلص بس الختام يوبيسوفت هتستهبل جامد في أسعار الجيل الجاي ده تستهبل جامد 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 جامد.
You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened
المهم
warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles.
شكرا جدا 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 ليكم. شكرا لكل عمل لايك كل عمل شير كل عمل سبسكرايب اشتراك في القناة. بشكركم جدا. بشكر على وجه الخصوص كلنا وإنه في الشات في البث. بشكركم جدا. أتمنى يا رب نتقابل كل بتشجع على خير ويا رب دايما تكونوا بخير وكالعادة see you later guys.
As you prowl England's